Dear students, in this module we are going to learn about self and its processes. The concept of self is most frequently answers the question of who am I? The answer to this question largely describes our lives and our relationships. A better understanding to this question is to experience it. Self concept provides us with our personal identity or sense of who we are. Self-esteem means it's your self-image, how you feel about yourself, and it is made up of thoughts and feelings you have about yourself. With this short introduction, we will move on to the concepts of self and self-esteem in detail. To understand self and its processes, in this session we shall have discussions on self-concept, formation of self-concept, the theory looking class self, social comparison theory, self-concept in adolescence, self-esteem, factors that influence self-esteem, qualities of high and low self-esteem, assessment on the level of self-esteem, advantages of high self-esteem, causes and effects of low self-esteem, and finally steps to raise self-esteem. The first we are going to see about self-concept. The self-concept is the overall image or awareness what we have about ourselves. It includes all those perceptions of I and me together with the feelings, beliefs and values associated with them. Actually, the overall self-concept is an organized cluster of many selves, helping to explain why we do not always act consistently. Self-concept exerts a powerful influence affecting the way we perceive, judge and behave. Even though situations and people around us change, our self-concept reassures us that we are basically the same person we were yesterday. The self-concept is the accumulation of knowledge about the self, such as beliefs regarding personality traits, physical characteristics, abilities, values, goals and roles. The body image, the awareness of my body, how we feel about our bodies. The second one, the self-image, the self that I see myself to be, the ideal self, the self I would like to be, my social self, the way I feel others to see me. Let us see in detail the body image. The body image includes the way in which one perceives about his body. The facts are one's opinion about oneself. The example may be I have brown eyes, or I am so pretty, or I am attractive, etc. Self-image. Self-image is the way I see myself. It is the self I think I am. It is made up of highly personal images. Since it is so private, each of us is an expert on our self-image. However, realistic or unrealistic our perception may be. Our self-image is made up of many self-perceptions we have acquired growing up, especially in our formative years. It is mostly influenced by the way we are seen and treated by significant others, especially by our parents. Later, we tend to revise our self-images through later experiences with friends and teachers. Ideal self. Ideal self is the self I would like to be, including my aspirations, moral ideals and values which serve as an incentive to do our best. How would you characterize your own ideal self? Do you tend to be idealistic and rather hard on yourself when you fall off your aims, or are you more down to earth and practically minded, shrugging disappointments with yourself and giving it another try? Social self. The impressions we think others have of us. It is the way we think they view us. Our perception of how others view us greatly influences the way we see ourselves. The example may be, people think I have a great sense of humor or I am a great motivator. Whenever two people meet, there are really 6 people present. There is each person as he sees himself, each person as the other person sees him, and each person as he really is, said by William James. Formation of self-concept. Our self-concept is developed through our experiences and interaction with others. Some of the theorists have given certain explanation towards the process of development of self-concept. Looking class self. The looking class self theory says that a person's thoughts and feeling about themselves are formed based on the responses of others and their perception of how they appear to others. Using social interaction as a type of mirror, people use the judgments, they receive from others to measure their own worth, values and behavior. For example, a person may believe that she is very confident in facing the challenges because another person complimented that she is confident and faced many problems. This makes us to develop our self-image and concept what others believe about us. Social comparison theory. The theory says that the comparison of self with others leads to development of self-concept. We compare and evaluate ourselves with others on the basis of two dimensions. One is superiority and inferiority and similarity and difference. The characteristics like level of intelligence, attractiveness, creativity and so on, which are used for comparison, falls under the dimension of superiority and inferiority. For example, you might judge yourself to be more intelligent than your friend or less creative than your brother. Like these judgments are become a part of your self-concept. The group with which we use as a standard or frame of reference is called as reference groups. Comparing and evaluating of self with others is not harmful, but the reference group with which we compare should be reasonable, appropriate and adequate. For example, if you have started attending drawing classes and you judge yourself as inferior, whenever you compare your drawing with famous artists, then that may have a negative effect on your self-concept. In such case, you need to compare yourself with those who are new learners in the field of drawing. Social comparison is also done on the basis of similarities and differences with others. There may be situations when our similarity with reference group is more desirable, while at certain circumstances, difference with others is more desirable. It depends upon whether we want to fit in or we want to stand out differently from the reference group. Example, on the basis of age and personality. Yet, it is to be understood that there may be positive and negative consequences of social comparison. Self-concept in adolescence. In adolescence, the self-concept becomes more abstract, complex and hierarchically organized into cognitive mental representations or self-schemas, which direct the processing of self-relevant information. Self-concept refers to self-evaluation or self-perception, and it represents the sum of an individual's beliefs about his or her own attributes. Self-concept reflects how an adolescent evaluates himself or herself in domains or areas in which he or she considers success important. Teachers, administrators and parents commonly voice concerns about students' self-esteem. Promoting high self-concept is important because it relates to academic and life success. Let us now see how self-concept is associated with achievement, aggression, depression, etc. Self-concept and academic achievement. Self-concept is positively correlates with academic performance. This is a common assumption that an individual's high academic performance results in their self-concept, whereas the high academic performance is the result of individual self-concept. Self-concept and aggression. Another popular assumption that aggressive students have low self-concept and use aggression as a means of raising it. Self-concept, depression and use of illegal substances. Low self-concept is often considered a defining characteristics of depression, but the evidence for this is weak. Similarly, although some evidence suggests that low self-concept may be a weak risk factor for smoking, the use of alcohol and illegal drugs. An adolescent self-concept is dynamic and causality is complex. That is, problems and difficulties can lower self-concept, but low self-concept can also cause problems. For adolescents, having a high academic self-concept is associated with positive academic performance, and having a high physical self-concept is related to increased physical activity. Signs of negative self-concept in adolescence. These are the signs indicate the negative self-concepts in the adolescence. Doing poorly in school, having few friends, putting down oneself and others, rejecting compliments, teasing others, showing excessive amounts of anger, being excessively jealous, appearing conceited, hesitating to try new things. Strategies that can be used to improve an adolescent's self-concept include providing praise for accomplishments, praise effort, working with the individual to encourage improvements in areas where he or she feels deficient, and refraining from using negative feedback. Let us move on to this concept of self-esteem. Self-esteem is the one important factor required by anybody to succeed in life. Adolescence is one period in which boys and girls faces with many problems and issues. It is necessary that adolescent self-esteem to be at high level to face the problems and challenges with the adolescent period. Self-esteem refers to the judgments and evaluations we make of our concept of self. It is an evaluation of ourself which involves our thoughts and feelings. The more positive feelings you have about yourself, the higher your self-esteem. For example, I am pretty, I am smart, I learned from my mistakes. The more negative feelings you have about yourself, the lower your self-esteem. For example, I am afraid to fail, I am stupid, I am ugly, and I am boring. Factors that influence self-esteem. Self-esteem is based on the unique experiences and personal relationships that have made up your life. At home, the relationship with the spouse, parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, etc. Experiences with family from birthright up to the present. In school, relationship with classmates, teachers, administrators and counselors. Experience with schoolwork, extracurricular activities, sports and discipline, etc. On the job, relationship with supervisors, co-workers and employees. Experiences with hirings, firings, promotions and levels of job responsibility, as well as your ability to support yourself and your family. In the social life, relationship with childhood and about friends, neighbors, boyfriends and girlfriends. Experiences with clubs, sports teams and hobbies. In society, relationship with members of different cultures, races and religions. Experiences with standards and images created by others, that is the media. In general, positive experiences and fulfilling relationships help raise self-esteem. Negative experiences and troubled relationships tend to lower self-esteem. No single event or person can determine your level of self-esteem. It develops over time and constantly changes with experience. Let us see the qualities of high and low self-esteem. Let us look at some of the qualities of people with high and low self-esteem. People with high self-esteem, people with low self-esteem, optimistic, pessimistic, helpful, selfish, accept criticism, get offended at criticism, give compliments, always find faults, take up responsibility, shift blame on others, well motivated, lack motivation and drive, set goal, drift, caring, no concern for others, sensitive to the need of others, indifferent to the needs of others, respect others, snub, discuss and share, autocratic and argue, willing to accept ideas, know all attitude, disciplined, shabby, humble, arrogant, respect and obey authority, rebellious, assertive, aggressive, discuss ideas, discuss people, confident, confused, open-minded, secretive, have self-worth and pride, lack of pride in themselves, consult and agree, impose their ideas on others, appreciate the good in others, always find fault with others, finally enjoy decency, enjoy vulgarity. Assessment on the level of self-esteem. How do you feel about yourself? Assess your own level of self-esteem by honestly answering these questions by using yes or no. Most people feel bad about themselves from time to time. So, when answering these questions, think about how you feel most of the time. Are you easily hurt by criticism? Are you very shy or overly aggressive? Do you try to hide your feeling from others? Do you fear close relationships? Do you try to blame your mistakes or on others? Do you find excuses for refusing to change? Do you avoid new experiences? Do you continually wish you could change your physical appearance? Are you too modest about personal successes? Are you glad when others fall? If you answer most of these questions yes, your self-esteem probably needs improvement. Do you accept constructive criticism? Are you at ease meeting new people? Are you honest and open about your feelings? Do you value your closest relationships? Are you able to laugh at and learn from your own mistakes? Do you notice and accept changes in yourself as they occur? Do you look for and tackle new challenges? Are you confident about your physical appearance? Do you give yourself credit when credit is due? Are you happy for others when they succeed? If you answered most of the questions yes, you probably have a healthy opinion of yourself. Whatever the level of your self-esteem now, you can take positive steps to improve it. How to think positively about yourself? Make it a point to be your own best friend. That means follow the below tips. Acceptance. Identity and accept your strengths and weaknesses that everyone has them. Help. Set realistic goals. Meet them by learning new skills and developing your abilities. Prize. Take pride in your achievements, both great and small. Remember, your experiences are yours alone. Enjoy them. Encouragement. Take a can-do attitude. Set a reasonable timetable for personal goals and offer yourself encouragement along the way. Time. Take time out regularly to be alone with your thoughts and feelings. Get involved in activities you can enjoy by yourself like crafts, reading or individual sport. Learn to enjoy your own company. Trust. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. Act on what you think is right. Do what makes you happy. Respect. Don't try to be someone else. Be proud of who you are. Explore and appreciate you own. Love. Learn to love the unique person you are. Accept and learn from your mistakes. Don't overreact to errors. Accept your successes and failures. Advantages of high self-esteem. There is a direct relationship between people's feelings and their productivity. High self-esteem is evident in respect for one's self, others' property, law, parents and one's country. The reverse is also true. Self-esteem. It builds strong conviction, creates willingness to accept responsibility, builds optimistic attitudes, leads to better relationship and fulfilling lives, makes a person more sensitive to others' needs and develop a caring attitude, makes a person self-motivated and ambitious, makes a person open to new opportunities and challenges, improves performance and increases risk-taking ability, helps a person give and receive both criticism and compliments tactfully and easily. Causes for low self-esteem. There are many causes for the low self-esteem. Let us review some of them. Hereditary is a main factor for low self-esteem. If the parents are introverts and they never mingle with people for fear of their inability, there is a possibility of the children can have low self-esteem. The living conditions. The surrounding in which you live also affects the lack of self-esteem. If the child is brought up in a poor environment without giving proper attention to make him excel in his fields or deprived of doing good activities, the low self-esteem at the adolescent stage is possible. Lack of proper education. The uneducated children will develop lack of self-esteem as they will face problems in interacting with the educated of their age. Physiological. Major physical changes occur in boys and girls. The gender hormones start the functioning in full swing during this period. Many children face problems during this change and are unable to cope with the changes occurring in their body and behavior. Societal implications. During the adolescent stage of a child, society put many restrictions in their behaviors and attitudes. Girls will be automatically tempted to move away from the boys and boys are restricted to mingle with girls during this period. This makes them that there are some things to be afraid. This will automatically make them fear in a natural interaction. Fear about future. During the late periods of adolescence, the children will seriously think about their future and in many cases they will get depressed of their future. Unemployment, insecurity, lack of financial backgrounds and many such factors make the adolescents afraid of facing the world. Diseases and other physical ailments. The physically challenged and the children with chronic diseases will be thinking that they are debris in the world. These thinking processes make them to keep away from others and they can become agitated. These are many such reasons for low self-esteem of adolescents. If proper care is not given, low self-esteem gradually will lead to many physical and mental ailments. It is important to bring up the adolescents with high self-esteem. The effects of low self-esteem. Lack of self-confidence. People with low self-esteem often have little confidence in their activities. They may think they are doomed to fail again because they failed before. Distorted view of self and others. Some people won't give themselves credit for their accomplishments. These people may think others look better in comparison. They may also believe that things just happen to them, that they don't make them happen. Poor performance. Lack of self-confidence may result in little or no effort towards realizing projects or goals. But failures that result from a lack of effort are not a true reflection of a person's abilities. Unhappy personal life. Negative people are not fun to be around. People with low self-esteem find it hard to develop close relationships. The result may be a lonesome and unhappy personal life. Positive tips for self-esteem. There is a quote said by Eleanor Roosevelt, that is, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." The following steps we can see. Take a responsibility, redefine your belief system, believe in yourself, have faith in your abilities. Without self-confidence, you cannot manifest the best in you. Self-confidence leads to self-realization and successful achievement. Make a list of all that you have good in you. Body posture. Not good postures. Hitting head, standing in drooping way, keeping hands on the cheeks, standing and keeping hands on the hips, kneading hands. Good postures. Sitting and standing erect, keeping the palms together while talking, keeping hands on the lap in a confident way, keeping a smile. 2 ways to cure inferiority complex. The first is a complex and time consuming process. The second one is to instantaneously infuse confidence, that is, to repeat power thoughts, power words and power actions. I can do all things through God who dwells in me and strengthens me day after every day and all the days of my life. I am getting better and better and better day by day, every day, all the days of my life. Keep smiling, tell jokes, laugh, read humor, listen to jokes, tell things in lighter vein, take things in lighter vein. 10 steps to raise self-esteem. The first one is visualize a success picture. Whenever a negative thought occurs, replace with a positive thought. Minimize fear, negative thought. Do not be overawed by great people. Repeat 10 times a day, not to be possible is impossible. Seek a good counselor. Make a list of your abilities and increase that by 10% review monthly. Accept people as they are. On wake up, daily repeat several times, day by day, every day I am better and better. Before going to bed, review, reaffirm and restore. To conclude this module, self-concept and self-esteem are the very important in the life of an individual. To understand who is he and to analyze his strengths and weaknesses by assessing the level of self-esteem. Summary. Self-concept is the overall image or awareness what we have about ourselves. It includes all those perceptions of I and me together with the feelings, beliefs and values associated with them. There are 4 images about ourselves, that is the body image, self-image, the ideal self and my social self. The body image includes the way in which one perceives about his body. Self-image is the way I see myself. It is the self I think I am. It is made up of highly personal images. Ideal self is the self I would like to be, including my aspirations, moral ideals and values which serve as an incentive to do our best. Social self is our perception of how others view us greatly influences the way we see ourselves. Looking class self theory and social comparison theory explains the formation of self-concept. Self-concept in adolescence particularly influence the achievement, aggression and depression, etc. It also deals with the signs that indicate the negative self-concept in adolescence. Self-esteem, it is your self-image, how you feel about yourself, and it is made up of thoughts and feelings you have about yourself. Self-esteem is based on the unique experiences and personal relationships that have made up your life. Qualities of high and low self-esteem, advantages of high self-esteem, causes and effects of low self-esteem, and positive tips and 10 steps to raise the self-esteem are finally discussed to have a clear-cut knowledge on self-esteem. Thank you.